The Walt Disney Company is being mocked for shrinking streaming success, and it's coming from someone you would have never expected before. Leaving ESPN and Disney, walking out the door, Major League Baseball. Today, we'll tell you why they have ended a multi-decades era and why they are laughing at the House of Mouse on their way out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that continues to bring you the news in a way that others simply aspire to. Another video of excellence on the way, and we will dive straight in, only asking that you click the like button as we begin. All right, here we go. It's out of Variety. And folks, as we talk about what's happening with Disney right now, folks, we don't normally do sports. We're not going to dive into RBIs and any of that kind of stuff. No. We're going to talk about the fact that Disney is being dunked on, figuratively. As we do, I just want to remind you, too, that we're going to be talking about, at the very end, another issue that Disney is facing with the box office, Captain America: Brave New World. We're going to have an update on that come Sunday, but I can't wait. I got to show you something. There's just something you have to see. First, though, here we go. Variety. Brian Steinberg, the author. Baseball strikes out at ESPN sports giant to end TV rights deal with MLB, that's Major League Baseball, after current season. Disney's ESPN and Major League Baseball are breaking up after nearly 40 years together, a sign of how even the most durable content relationships have come under scrutiny in the streaming era. We will all miss, of course, Berman saying back. With sports rights increasingly exponentially and entertainment conglomerates left to figure out how to pay the bill. All right. Here is what ESPN said, and I'm going to show you what the real statement is. Get ready. ESPN, which is owned by Disney, said, "We are grateful for our long-standing relationship with Major League Baseball and proud of how ESPN's coverage super serves fans. In making this decision, we applied the same discipline and fiscal responsibility that has built ESPN's industry-leading live events portfolio as we continue to grow our audience across linear, digital, and social platforms. As we have been throughout the process, we remain open to exploring new ways to serve MLB fans across our platforms beyond 2025. And that's it. There's no more in this article about what the MLB had to say. It's just ESPN. And this is one of the trades, Variety, of course, and they're bringing you the way that Hollywood sees this, or the way that Hollywood would like to present it. Well, let me show you what Major League Baseball had to say about ESPN, again, owned by Disney. Here's what this says. This is from Clay Travis, and in just a moment, you're going to see why we've got LeBron James, not a baseball player, on the thumbnail. Hang tight. This has much to do with the NBA. It says, "Given the strength of our product, we do not believe a reduction in fees is warranted," Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred wrote in a Thursday memo to team owners. In other words, ESPN wanted to pay MLB less. Right? They wanted to pay ESPN wanted to pay Major League Baseball less. Disney wanted to pay Major League Baseball less. All right? Well, here's why Major League Baseball decided that was not going to happen. Manfred said he took aim at the network's linear distribution, which has fallen to 53.6 million homes. That's half of 2011. In other words, ESPN has lost half of their linear distribution. To that end, he said, "We do not think it's beneficial for us to accept a smaller deal to remain on a shrinking platform." Let me say it again. Major League Baseball is claiming that Disney's ESPN, perhaps linear, perhaps cable, but maybe including streaming as well, they're claiming that ESPN is a shrinking platform and they don't want to be there. They don't want to be on Disney's so-called worldwide leader in sports. Folks, there's more to this. Before we get to the NBA aspect, let me show you. This is Nielsen. Nielsen has this. It's called the distributor gauge. This is from January 2025. And for the first time ever, they combined Disney into a single thing, right? They did have Disney Plus and Hulu separated out, and apparently as well ESPN Plus. But there's something fascinating here. For some reason, not given to any other company, Nielsen has decided to stick Disney together. So you can see that YouTube holds 10.8% of all streaming eyeballs. Netflix has 8.6%. In the past, Disney Plus would hold something like 1.9, 1.8%. Hulu would hold 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. And so if you add that up together and you say, okay, well, let's say that Disney Plus had a really good month in January and they had 2%. And let's say that Hulu had a decent or consistent time and they had 2.4%. Well, that would get you to 4.4. The lowest that is recognized before you get into other streaming is Pluto TV down here at 0.9. What this is revealing to us, folks, now that we've done some investigation, is that ESPN Plus may have been pulling only something like 0.3%, 0.4% of all streaming eyeballs, and that's why ESPN Plus was never presented on here. Now it's been rolled into Disney, and you can see that down here where it says, in tiny print, the asterisk, Disney includes viewing on Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu SVOD. So Disney now, this Disney, unlike any of the others, because Paramount owns Pluto, so unlike any of the others, they've decided that they're going to roll all that into just Disney, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN. But that's revealing, based on the history that we've seen, is that ESPN has terrible streaming viewership, maybe like 0.3%. Well, that would make sense. That would make sense why the MLB is trying to pull out. Here's the reason that we believe that ESPN, Disney again, was begging the MLB to take less money. This is from 2024. It's out of ESPN. What NBA's new TV deal means for the league, players, teams, and fans. It's by Tim Bontemps. We don't care about any of this except this paragraph right here. After the contract was signed, here's what it means. That means that Disney, ABC, and ESPN, Comcast, and Amazon will be airing all of the NBA's nationally televised games from the 2025-2026 season throughout 2035 and 36, an 11-year agreement that will net the NBA roughly $76 billion. And Disney took on a heck of a huge portion of that. Disney, for ABC and ESPN, took on a huge portion of that. What we believe is happening, folks, is we believe that they can't afford the NBA. And they can't afford the NBA because of this. If you've been paying attention, you know over the past decade, the NBA has dropped about 50% of its ratings. And it's not turning the corner. According to a report coming out just 2 days ago, the NBA All-Star Game ratings nearly matched their worst ever. Now, I don't know if you all know how long the NBA All-Star Game has been going on, but I'll just tell you, it's almost impossible to manage to hit the worst ever, considering how long it's been going on and how much one would assume that NBA popularity rose, and surely is now, but apparently not, by Dylan Svoboda. I got it, Dylan Svoboda. Why could I not get that? Viewership for last weekend's NBA All-Star Game was near all-time lows. Just 4.7 million basketball fans tuned in to TNT, TBS, True TV for the game on Sunday night, per Front Office Sports' Ryan Glasspiegel. That number is a 13% decrease on the 2024 game, which drew 5.3 million views. In other words, these companies, including Disney and Disney at the forefront, paid record-breaking amounts of money for the NBA, and the NBA is absolutely crashing. And now it looks like ESPN was begging baseball to drop their amount that they demand so that ESPN can afford all this, because they can't afford the crumbling NBA that they are now saddled with. And that's not getting any better. Wowza, wowza, how bad is that? Well, folks, here's the deal. Yeah, they've struck out big time. They've struck out big time because they can't afford the NBA. Now they can't keep the MLB, and the MLB is drawing attention to the fact that Disney streaming appears to be shrinking. And that should have investors and shareholders asking questions. We're not here to give you financial advice. I also want to draw your attention, as I promised, to one other thing, and that is completely unrelated, but it's the box office for Captain America: Brave New World. We are scheduled to talk about this on Sunday morning. But I have to draw your attention to one small thing. Take a look at this, folks. I want you to see. You remember how they told us that Captain America: Brave New World was going to bust $100 million in its first weekend? Well, as of this weekend, so the first week's in 7 days, it only made 113. It only made 113. So let me show you what that means. If we go down here to the daily box office performance, what they're telling us now is, remember how confident they were they're going to break $100 million in that first weekend? They did so. February 17th was the Sunday of that first weekend. They did so by $21,000. Now, if you know anything about how this works, I can't imagine that if they broke it by 21,000 that they were confident about that. And I just wonder, folks, looking at the drop-off after that, where they made $6 million on the Monday, $6 million on the Tuesday. That's right. This was President's Day. $6 million on the Tuesday, $3 million on the Wednesday, and $3 million on the Thursday. This 21,000. I just wonder if somebody somewhere bought some tickets, a lot of tickets. Not making allegations, just speculating. I just wonder if somebody said, we got to have some tickets. We got to get over 100K. I don't know who would say that, but I'm just pointing it out. It's a little odd to me that it beat it by 21,000. And then the drop was real. The drop was real, folks. In the next 3 days, it made 13,000 total. And I got a feeling this thing is going to land like it's going to land like the NBA All-Star game. How's that for you? Disney's got all kinds of issues. It's not only streaming, it's the box office. Wanted to show you that. And folks, we got lots of stuff to cover over the next few days. There's a lawsuit right now over the Disney streaming situation. The MLB is saying that their streaming is shrinking at the same time that lawsuit's hitting. It's just ugly for Bob Iger. He's managing to not make friends with some folks around the industry. All right, folks, that is the video for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it's short, but it's TGIF, and we know you want to get out there and go have some fun. We hope you get it done. Folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, we'll see you tomorrow 4 times a day, every single day, including weekends. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
I just found out to get WDW Pro's information, where he gets his sources. I can't believe he uses Wilton!
What?
We got a job to do. It's easy to hack into WDW Pro's computer.
You're kidding me. That's awesome. You know any other stuff?
Yeah, just Jonas Campbell told me.
Sweet.
Said Pro underpaid him or something.
A few minutes later.
There. Oh, awesome. Whatever. All I gotta do is hack into this thing. It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah, this isn't
All
a
right,
hack.
grab this picture over here.
Leave it to me.
Oh, no. Oh, Wilson.
Job done. What?
No, all we had to do was use the picture because he uses face unlock. Now we gotta go to thatparplace.com and sub to him and his team on YouTube.
Oh, well, I already did that because I'm smart.